Hi, you have a job, you get paid, and somehow every month you're broke. Not a little broke, fully, completely, embarrassingly broke. That's not an accident. That's economics, and today we're going to find out exactly why it keeps happening to you. Let's say you earn $3,000 a month. Sounds okay, but here's the thing. That money, it was never really yours. First, the government takes a cut. That's called a tax. It's mandatory, non-negotiable, don't argue. What's left is called your net income. That's the real number, not the big one. Then comes rent, gone. Car payment, gone. Phone bill, gone. Netflix, gone. Spotify, gone. That gym membership you haven't used since January, also gone. These are called fixed expenses. They don't care if you had a bad month. They show up every time, like your most punctual friend who you didn't invite. By the time fixed expenses are done, you're not managing $3,000. You're managing whatever's left, which for most people is about enough to cry over. This is called disposable income. Economists love that word, disposable, as in it disappears quickly. Okay, but wait, even your disposable income isn't safe, because there's another tax, one the government didn't invent, one that's way sneakier. It's called lifestyle creep. Here's how it works. You get a raise. Congratulations. So you get a slightly nicer apartment, order food delivery instead of cooking, buy things you technically deserve. And somehow, you're still broke, just with better furniture. This is lifestyle creep. Every time income goes up, spending goes up to match it, sometimes faster. In economics, this is related to something called the consumption function. The idea that as your income rises, your spending rises too. Not proportionally, sometimes more than proportionally. Economists assumed people would save the extra. Real humans bought a bigger TV. The trap is this: your standard of living becomes a floor. Once you're used to it, going back feels impossible. So the raises never make you richer, they just upgrade your broke. Let's talk about debt, specifically the kind that lives in your wallet and slowly eats your future. When you borrow money, you pay interest. Interest is the price of borrowing. It's how banks make money off you, legally. Most credit cards charge between 20 and 30% interest per year. That means if you owe $1,000 and only pay the minimum each month, congratulations, you're basically on a subscription plan for being broke. The minimum payment is genius for the bank. You feel like you're doing something. The balance barely moves. Interest keeps compounding. Compound interest is when interest earns interest. Einstein allegedly called it the eighth wonder of the world. When it works for you, it's magical. When it works against you, which is what debt does, it is genuinely one of the most efficient ways to stay poor ever invented. Broke people pay interest. Rich people earn it. Same system, completely different seat. Here's the part nobody tells you. You are bad at money, not because you're dumb, because your brain was built for a world without money. Your brain was built for survival. See food, eat it now. See danger, run now. See a sale that ends in 2 hours, buy it now. This is called present bias. Your brain values right now massively more than the future. $50 today feels way better than $500 in a year, even when the math is obvious, even when you know better. This is not a weakness. This is behavioral economics, the study of how real humans actually make decisions. Spoiler, not rationally. We do something called mental accounting. We treat $50 found in an old jacket differently than $50 from our paycheck. It's the same money. Our brain doesn't care. We anchor to the first number we see. If a jacket is marked down from $500 to $200, suddenly $200 feels cheap, even if the jacket was never worth $500, even if you didn't need a jacket. Companies spend billions studying exactly this. Every limited time offer, every customer also bought, every subscription that's easier to sign up for than to cancel. It's not design, it's applied psychology, and it is working on you right now every single day. Okay, here's the part that's genuinely unfair. Being broke is expensive. Can't afford to buy in bulk? You pay more per unit. Can't afford a reliable car? Uber costs more long-term. Bad credit score? You pay higher interest on everything. Loans, apartments, sometimes even jobs check it. can't afford to fix the small problem, it becomes the big, expensive problem. This is called the poverty premium, the extra costs that come specifically from not having money. Economists have studied this. Low-income households often pay more per unit of almost everything, food, credit, insurance, housing, than wealthy households do. Poverty isn't just having less, it's paying extra for the privilege of having less. The system isn't designed to punish poor people on purpose. It's just that every financial product, credit, insurance, housing, is priced around risk, and being poor is considered risky. So the less money you have, the more everything costs. That's not motivation, that's just the truth, and the first step to escaping a trap is seeing it clearly. So you decide to save. Good instinct, wrong execution. Money sitting in a regular savings account earns almost nothing. Meanwhile, there's something called inflation. Inflation is when prices rise over time, which means your money, just sitting there, is losing purchasing power every single year. $100 today buys less in 5 years than it does right now. The dollar bill doesn't shrink, but what it buys does. The average inflation rate is around 2 to 3% per year. Most basic savings accounts pay less than that. So, saving is good, but saving without your money growing is just losing slowly instead of losing fast. That's why investing exists. Stocks, index funds, assets that grow over time. Rich people don't just save money, they put money to work. Their money makes money while they sleep, while they buy overpriced avocado toast, while they do literally anything else. You don't need to be rich to start. You need to understand that keeping money still in a world with inflation is a guaranteed slow loss. Okay, you've heard the problems. Here's the part that actually matters. The single most effective personal finance rule ever invented is embarrassingly simple. It's called pay yourself first. The moment money arrives, before rent, before food, before Netflix, a percentage goes to you, to your savings, to your future. Automatic, non-negotiable, not what's left over, first. This works because of something economists call forced saving. You remove the decision entirely. You can't spend what you never see. Pair that with the 50-30-20 rule. 50% needs, rent, food, transport, bills. 30% wants, fun, eating out, stuff you like. 20% savings and killing debt. That's not a perfect system, it's a starting system, and starting beats perfect every time. Then, and this is the boring part that nobody makes videos about, you kill high-interest debt first. That 25% credit card interest is the worst investment you're making. Pay it off before anything else, because every dollar of debt you eliminate is a guaranteed 25% return. No stock market does that reliably. So, why are you always broke? Because your gross income was never your real income. Because lifestyle creep eats every raise before you notice. Because debt compounds against you while savings compound for rich people. Because your brain is being exploited by trillion-dollar companies who understand behavioral economics better than your school ever taught you. Because the poverty premium means being broke literally costs more. And because saving alone, without your money growing, just means losing slowly. None of this is your fault. This stuff is genuinely not taught, not in school, not at home, but it is your problem, and you can't solve a problem you don't understand. Now you understand it. Next video, where your money actually goes, explained like you're 5, because now you know why you're broke. Next, we find out exactly where it's going, down to the dollar. Subscribe, the next one is worse, in the best way.